Welcome to Wizards Outlook. Joined as always by Cardell Dudley Jr. We got Raymond Lyons and Wilson Turpe Jr. And interesting game tonight, to say the least. I think this is the best way to lead into this. The Wizards did hold on to beat the Raptors 131-129 in overtime. I think, Cardell, you went first last night, so Ray, we'll let you kick this off with just your initial thoughts on Washington getting this, which is kind of a much-needed win.
They tried their best to give it away. They still haven't figured out this up by 3 with a few seconds left situation, but nevertheless they got it done in extra time. Man, Neto and Robin Lopez were huge this game. They don't get this win without them, point blank. When the Wizards went down in the third quarter, Neto he showed up, and in the fourth quarter down the stretch, Robin Lopez was big. He extended a few key possessions with offensive rebounds. A couple that I'm thinking about is one offensive rebound he got ended up being a hockey assist to Bertans, hit the 3 and they went up 1. Then another one he cleaned up Bradley Beal's miss and made clutch free throws and tied the game up. Then he made a couple more clutch free throws, 15 seconds left, put the Wizards up by 3. So, he definitely did his part. Bradley Beal, he started off slow. He was pretty much contained for most of the game, but he kind of got it going when he needed to. Wizards had some early foul trouble in the fourth quarter. They put Toronto in a bonus for the last 7 minutes of the game, but moving forward, they were a little more disciplined in their defense. They still giving up these threes. That's what kind of made the game interesting going down the stretch. A couple of them Toronto hit were just tough contested ones, but they still a couple missed rotations, which led to guys getting open shots. So, just kind of things we've been talking about the last couple games that the Wizards need to clean up. Siakam, he had a huge game. He had 44. I think they said that was a career high for him. 11 rebounds, 7 assists. He was he was just doing damage all night. Fred VanVleet, he hit the big shot to tie the game. Like Cardell said last night, these are still some key guys that were on a championship team. So you can't just look at the record or what have you and just kind of throw them to the wayside, man. These guys know how to play basketball. They know how to win. So, luckily the Wizards' lapses didn't cost them tonight. They got away with this one by the skin of their teeth. But yeah, man, it's just some of the same things rearing their ugly head at the wrong times. Fortunately they came out on the right side of this one, but it's a win. Another thing, this might have been the least impactful game for Gafford since he's been with the team. Like usually, no matter how long he's on the floor, he always does something huge, or makes his presence felt. I can't remember him being out there tonight. But it happens. It takes nothing away from what he brings to this team. Everybody knows how valuable he is. But yeah, man, much needed win. To keep pace with Indiana. They're still a half game back, but they have the tiebreaker. They can kind of overtake them because they play them soon. So yeah, man, a win is a win, but they definitely raised our blood pressure with this one.
Cardell.
Yeah, Washington won and lost this game about 10 times in the fourth and overtime. The wild thing is they won because they did the little things we just talked about last night. They hit their free throws, and they got enough stops in the overtime and late in the fourth quarter to win. The wild part is the things we were talking about that play the Wizards when they lose these close games. The Raptors did them. See, there you go. They missed free throws and they didn't get stops. See, and it allowed the Wizards to hold on to win. Those little things. It's funny how that works out, man. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Yeah, Robin Lopez and Raul Neto, both of them deserve the game ball. They came to play tonight. They handled business. Especially, obviously they can score, defend, but the clutch free throws, that's what, they stepped up and hit some big free throws, man. Late. Whereas, like I just said, the Raptors, outside of Van Vliet, Shaq they missed some clutch free throws. They're stars. You know what I mean? So the role players stepped up and got the job done. Neto was just amazing. I know a lot of people, we gonna get to it, been comments saying they don't like the lineup. They just be looking for something to criticize Scott Brooks with, talking about they don't like the lineup with Bill, Neto, and Russell Westbrook. And you see why Neto's in the lineup. He don't really hurt you. He's going to give you something that helps you win the game. I mean, it's kind of like the AI effect when Larry Brown moved Allen Iverson to the 2, and they was like, man, he's going to get killed by the bigger 2 guards. And Larry Brown was like, yeah, but the other team is going to have a lot more trouble dealing with AI than we are dealing with them. You see what I'm saying? That's what Scott Brooks is saying. Whenever look at all the things that may not show up in the box score that Neto brings. One, he's probably the best defender out the 3. So you're not giving up nothing there. He's going to fight. He can play point guard. He's a point guard. He can bring the ball up, which means he takes pressure off of Bill and Russ when you throw traps at him, which is what the Raptors did for most of the game, and which is why they had to lead for most of the game. You throw traps at him and for somebody else to beat it, fine. Neto can bring it up and initiate the offense. He can score. He can shoot. He can facilitate. He can literally do it all. He just stays in his role. He don't try to be the star and overtake Bill and Russ and all that. He plays his role. But he is a guy that's capable of doing all those things. That's why he's in the starting lineup. And I don't understand why that move has been getting criticized. I mean, the man just won Coach of the Month. And they won like 13 games in April or something like that. They won whatever it was, double-digit games in April. The move worked. So what are we talking about here? You know what I mean? When he was coming off the bench, they were struggling. So, it is what it is, man. Russell Westbrook had a big play, late in the fourth quarter, late in the game with 37 seconds left. He took a charge on Shaka when Shaka had a point-blank layup. That was a big-time winning play. I know he had a triple-double, but he had the 7 turnovers and didn't shoot well from the field at all. You know what I mean? But he had just missed the 3 to try to give them some cushion, and he didn't power. He came back, still locked in, and he took the charge. That's what I mean by getting stops. You see what I'm saying? Like little stuff like that. I know he fouled out on that bogus jump. I don't know what's up with the refs this season, man. Like dudes are clearly trying to foul, and they just oh, you wanted me to call that? That's what is going on across the league. I'm like, what is going on? I mean, look, better them than me, man, because this has been going on all season. It ain't new. So better them than me, because I might have to go over experience somebody just to make sure they call that joke, because that's what they doing. They forcing your hand, man. And so you can't give them the benefit of the doubt no more. Like I know Russ was kind of anticipating that he'd get a foul, so he threw that pass. No, you can't move like that. That was just a bad move, man. So, but nonetheless, man, they overcame it and they won a game. But yeah, we can analyze the stats and all this stuff all day, man. But it's playoff time, honestly. To me, it's already playoff time, and the Wizards got a taste of that tonight. That was a playoff type intensity, playoff type atmosphere, playoff type execution, where it literally came down to the final seconds for them to decide the game. That's when the little things you haven't been doing all game, they add up and they come back to haunt you, man. You know what I'm saying? And I know people, I saw on Twitter, people were saying, yo, Scott Brooks, why didn't he tell them to foul late in the game? I'm like, haven't y'all been paying attention? He literally answered this question early in the season. He said he don't trust them to foul because you see what happens. You see what I'm saying? They may not foul. You don't know what you're going to get, even though he's told people to foul and they literally don't foul. You know what I mean? Like when Van Vliet hit the 3 to tie, Russ ran right past the man. and Neto was going to try to contest, but he was so scared he might run into him. And then it's a 4-point play or something like that. He just paused, which was smart. But what do you run past the man for? You know they need a 3. See, it's little mental lapses that he sees game to game watching the film where he's just like, just play sound defense. Just give me that. Just be in the way. You see what I'm saying? He literally answered that, and y'all want to be critical of that. Why you think when Bertans fouled Shotgun, was it Shotgun when he fouled or
Van
Birch?
Vliet.
Nah,
Oh, you
Van
talking about
Vliet.
which one you talking about?
When he hip check him. When he hip
It was
checked
Van
him.
Vliet late. Yeah, it was
All right, Van Vliet. When he hip checked Van Vliet, why you think Scott Brooks started clapping? Like, yes, thank you. It's a reason for that. It's a reason for that, man. So stop looking at Scott Brooks for everything. He answered it. Look at the personnel, man. Because look, man. Look, they won the game. They found a way. Congrats. They put some cushion between them and the Raptors. The problem is Indiana won. They beat the Hawks, which is why these wins count. So now what is 4 games left? And now you're going to have a pissed off Hawks team coming up back to back, right?
Yes.
All
yes.
right.
Let me
So it gets real.
Confirm that for you, but yes.
Yes, it gets real. So you have to keep playing. Obviously, you have to keep playing to win. But you gotta play smart, man. That's what I'm saying. These little things, they're gonna have to be on point with. Because for them, the playoffs start now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they noticed. It ain't the play in. It's already starting. So if they get lax and the little things that they did tonight to win, if that goes by the wayside and they stop doing it, yeah, it'll be tough. Like I think they got too big of a cushion for the Raptors. I think they'll hold on to see they're going to be in a play-in somewhere. It's just a matter of what seed, you know what I mean? But you don't want to go in the playoffs with the bad habits or on a losing streak, man. That's just bad altogether.
Yeah, they got the Pacers on Saturday, like you guys both mentioned. Then Hawks on Monday, Hawks on Wednesday. Both of them at State Farm Arena for the record. Both of them on the road. And then the Cavaliers on the 14th.
Is that on the road?
That is also on the road. And then they get the Hornets on the 16th, which is at home. And I think that's the regular season. Yeah.
And now since Harden to Charlotte, they got smacked? Chicago. Chicago smacked them tonight. So they're literally a game up on the Pacers. The Pacers a half game up on Washington. So those 3 teams about to be fighting. You know what I mean? So they got to win games, man. So they in the dogfight, and this is kind of what the play-in, and why I think the league probably gonna keep the play-in, because it forces you to keep playing throughout the season. Since y'all want to low manage to play games, okay, we gonna force y'all to have to play. If you ain't one of those top seeds or something like that, hey man, you got a ball, because look, you could be 5th today, but that when the season over, you can be back in the play-in. Damn, dog, life comes at you fast, and they brought it on themselves, so it is what it is.
Like we don't comfortably have one of them top 3 seeds with some cushion.
Mm-hmm.
Look, man, anything is possible, and not in a good way.
It ain't a long way from 4 to 7.
Nah.
Hey, look, messing around in the East, you wake up in 9th quick. Lose 3 games to the right 3 teams. Yeah, that's tough. That's a tough place to go. If y'all had nothing else for this game, gonna get a quick word from Ooz and Oz, and then we're gonna get into these comments. Ray, did you have anything else for this one? Nah? All right. I don't really have much. I think you guys kind of covered it. I think that was the mature me that's all I got. What's important is they got the win. The execution needs to improve if they wish to have any type of postseason aspirations and success. If they do indeed reach the postseason, I'm sick of watching them throw the ball into the short corner on the inbounds. It's getting kind of old.
Lord Jesus.
Like
Bill, don't go over there no more, homie. Don't go over there, dog.
That never ends well. Never.
Dog. I thought I was the only one seeing that. Bill, stop.
No.
Bill, I'd rather you just go right to the inbound and put it in my hands.
Yes.
They are not going to foul right here. They're going to just put it in my hands and move, dog.
I'm mad at him for going to the corner. Then I'm mad at the inbounder for giving him the ball in the corner. Like, that's like the 8th time this year. They're 0 for 8 on it. They've either turned it over, someone's fell. Today they got a tie up in a situation where, say he loses that tip, and then that was around that possession where Toronto had, it felt like 12 open looks on one possession.
Yeah, they just couldn't hit it. That's my point. That's my point. That's what I mean by they did what the Wizards normally do to lose the game. They did what the Wizards do, but the Wizards did normally what the other team do to beat them. That's the only difference. And for people that may not realize it, when you go to that corner, the baseline sideline, that's an extra defender for no reason. So all we gotta do is trap. You know what I'm saying? You have nowhere to go, and it's tough. And then you risking it because you leaving it in the refs' hands, and we all know the refs kind of, man, ain't no kind of the refs been suspect this season. So I wouldn't play those games, man. Look,
Not at
set
all.
some good screens and just run free and make it happen, man.
Man, the refs looking at you like, hey, what happened? And that's after you went 3/4 of y'all driving to the basket. And Toronto pretty much just whatever happens on the way down, the ref ain't calling it. It is what it is. Like at some point, you got to know in that situation, you're not getting a whistle. There's no way that you getting that whistle after going. The only free throw shot got was because of technicals or like Cardell said, because somebody speared you. It took that to get whistles going to the basket. Outside of that, I don't know what would make you think, oh yeah, they're gonna call the foul. I'm gonna anticipate the foul call. Bro, you got 2 timeouts. Russ called a timeout. It ain't even worth it. How the refs acted, just called a timeout. And that's kind of the thing. And I know y'all gonna get to it in the comments. Like it's kind of annoying and worrying about this group is like so much like they're powered by that backcourt. And some of them late game decisions, it's them doing weird stuff.
Yeah, and hop on something else. Daniel Gafford, who we all love, who we all know has been big for their resurgence late in the season. When they be like, man, Scarborough should be starting him and stuff like that. This is a night where you see why he hasn't. He's only in the second year, man. He was playing with the Bulls, so he don't know what the playoff atmosphere is like. Lopez has years. Alex Len, they have years under their belt. They know they've been around the league for a long time, so they're not gonna be shocked. It's just a matter of they're gonna show up or not. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, he has more athleticism than those guys, but is he a better player right now? I don't know about that. He damn sure don't got the experience yet. So look, you saw what happened. He's on the scouting report now because of his impact. So teams are focusing on him. The Raptors have a lot of bigs. Hell, they didn't even they missing a couple. Boucher and all those guys. You know what I'm saying? OG. Yeah, they got a lot of bigs down there, 6'9", 6'10", 6'11", that can move, that's athletic and skilled. This is just one of those nights where it was a bad matchup. You know what I'm saying? Where you needed experience to kind of thrive against them. Look at Pascal. He damn near had 40. No, he did have 40. 44, 11, and 7. And he missed 2 for 6 from 3, and he missed some clutch free throws. That could have easily been a 50-piece. He had it going. So, just pump the brakes on it. There's a reason why guys on that road, man. You know what I'm saying? And my thing is, the man just came off being coach of the month. For a resurgence, saved this season, got him back in the playoffs. When you getting it done, it ain't nothing to criticize. It is what it is. Sorry that he's not catering to your favorite players on the Wizards or whatnot, but that's not his job. His job is to win games. That's all that matters at the end of the day. So, look, man, let my man handle his business, man. It's been working, and we're gonna keep going with it.
Yeah, and sometimes on a night where you got a what's it called, a really bouncy guy going against another team with a bunch of bouncy guys. Sometimes you know what helps? That old fashioned, super boring, low post, drop stepping, hook shot having. It worked tonight.
What they call it, old reliable.
Old reliable came through because them dudes so ready to lead the ground. Lopez, it's a 5-second wind up before he gets to his final move. They done jumped 3 times, went for fakes that he didn't do yet, fouling him for no reason. Like
he got that Jake Shuttlesworth game, man. I ain't teach you that though. That's something you gotta learn on your own.
Man, he had me down on a couple of them step throughs. I was like, my goodness, if y'all don't just stay down, he's not going nowhere. Just stay down. And they just kept jumping. I'm like, yo.
Man, that's Coach Atkins right there, baby. That's Coach Atkins. Hey, Rolo, you gotta be a threat. Come over here. Gave him some work in the post, and he been automatic ever since, man. That's the blueprint. So Coach Atkins gave him a little blueprint. So you gotta guard him. He's drawing doubles and everything now. Right. So can't be mad at it.
I didn't know what to do watching what I was like. especially like isn't Nick Nurse coach team, defensively how he be throwing stuff at folks. They do a double at Rolo. Like it was a problem. It's legit a problem. And that's the thing, and I know you guys are gonna get to it. You got three centers, all of them bring different stuff to the table. On some of the nights when Gafford's going crazy, it's because they're playing a different type of center where what he brings to the table to like his gifts, it overrules what the other guy has. And a night like the night where the Raptors rolled out Birch, Gillespie got dumb bounced for no good reason, just down there. So once that stuff's neutralized, I already know what you smiling at. That's petty. That is super petty. He's looking at a score of a game on TNT right now. It is super petty. We gonna get the special from Ooze and Oz, and then we gonna get to these questions. That's so petty. Do you have your
It's gonna be funny on Twitter.
Ooze and Oz Soul Food Restaurant is here to help you with their Mother's Day special. It's available May 7th through May 9th. The special includes your choice of 4 entrees, 3 large sides, and 4 desserts for $64.95. It's available at both the U Street and Georgia Avenue locations. If you order from the Georgia Avenue location, you can add 2 cocktails or 4 beers for $74.95. Order online now to schedule your pickup. Available Friday through Sunday. To order online or get the address for both locations, head to oozeandoz.com. That's OOHSNAAHS.com. oozeandoz.com. All right, welcome back. All right, let's get to these comments. Ray, deferring or accepting?
Let's receive tonight.
All right, cool. First one's from the Awesomes. Y'all might be right about taking a look at the free throws tonight. Of course, this is talking about last game where they tricked away a bunch of points at the line and lost by 1 to Milwaukee.
Yeah, I mean it ain't no might. It's pretty straightforward, man. Either you making free throws or you missing them, and they didn't make them. So yeah, that'll cost you, man. Especially like we said, when other teams bombing away from when you're trading 2s for 3s, you need those free throws to make up the difference. And they just didn't shoot as well as they should have and could have. So yeah, man, that's just a minute detail that the Wizards just aren't as consistent as they should be with, and it cost some games. You got to make the free ones, man. That's a time old rule in basketball. They call free throws for a reason.
Yeah, like he just said about the Bucks tonight, they made 83%, and what was the result? You know what I mean? If they just shot just like they shot with the Bucks, low 70s or whatever, Raptors win by 10, and the Raptors was trying to give up the game themselves. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, yeah, it's free throws, man. Y'all pros. You know, if y'all don't do anything else, I know that with the COVID thing, teams haven't been practicing consistently throughout the season, but y'all damn sure getting in the gym to shoot. You know what I'm saying? That should be automatic, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is good. 83%, that's a winnable percentage. Especially for this team. It's not like they don't have guys that can put the ball in or that can shoot from outside. So it's just concentration, man. But if you can't make free throws, it's hard to pull out games, especially close games. And the Wizards need every win they can get, man. And then in the playoffs, we all know it's going to be a dogfight. So, yeah, you can't, what they call them, empty possessions. When you don't hit free throws, you can't keep giving up those and expect to win. It just don't work like that.
All right, Cardell, this one's for you. Investing out the blue. I feel like you answered this tonight already, but still, you think investing out the blue. You think Gafford was in trouble tonight with coach, and it cost us tonight being political. This stint, that this isn't the time to be disciplining our key players.
Man, that's BS. I ain't trying to hear that. Like, you trying to get ready for the playoffs, man. He's a second-year player. When he's making mental errors, you got to get his attention now, especially because he's a big part of the team because he earned that. You know what I mean? They're going to need him. So how is she going to teach him without disciplining him? Like, I'm not with that. This shortcut culture. This everybody get a participation trophy, crap type society that we living in right now, man. Yeah, you gotta get on. And unfortunately in the NBA, honestly, there's really only two ways you can get on a player. You fine them or you take their minutes away. And really the minutes is the thing that hurt the most because prior you're not in the game. And then two, that affects your money when you don't play. So you know, it is what it is, man. But yeah, he's trying to teach them. He's trying to speed up the learning curve, man. You know what I mean? So nah, and forget the political. He's coaching. Y'all accuse him of not coaching. Then when he coach, y'all get mad at him for that. That's a part of coaching. So I'm not mad at it at all. You know what I'm saying? Like tonight, he didn't play well, so he ain't play a lot. He played the other two centers. They won the game on the road, a game that they absolutely needed, especially with the Pacers winning. So, you know, look, if you don't want to be in the coach's doghouse, do what he expects you to do. You know, do what he's asking you to do, and be consistent at that.
My bad, Ray. Did you want to add? Or are you good?
I mean, yeah, it's got to be some level of accountability somewhere. You know, it will be irresponsible of him to leave Gafford out there, you know, being a hindrance to the team. And he's got to learn. He's gonna have some bumps in the road. You know, like Cardell said, he's a second year player. You know, coming from a situation where, like last year, that team was in disarray. You know,
Still in disarray.
yeah. So you gotta start to build good habits and create some type of culture where, you know, those type of things aren't accepted. So it was nothing political about it. He was doing his job.
All right, on to the next one. I think this is for you, Russ. My bad. Let me for you, Ray. I'm sorry. Let me get this banner out the way. All right, what do you guys? It's from DC Bigavelli. What do you guys think about a Russ Beal, Hutchinson, Rui, and Gafford starting lineup? I know Brooks likes his 3-guard unit, but it seems when we play teams with bigger perimeter players, they just shooting over Neto, even when he does make a good closeout. I also feel Beal suffers a little bit and loses his advantage going against threes instead of twos. He looks tired coming down the stretch. Scott Brooks had to use that lineup, and while watching it, seems to be our most athletic unit that can switch 1 to 5 defensively, plus puts Beal back at shooting guard when he can dominate and get this scoring title.
Scott Brooks won Coach of the Month, revived their season, and got him in a playoff hunt with the 3-guard lineup. So I don't know why we want to change things and put, you know, Hutchinson and Gafford, who are young and inexperienced, into a starting role over Neto, who is winning you games, and Lennon Lopez, who are doing their job. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, man. People just outthink themselves sometimes, and it's a reason why they not coaches. You know, it's it ain't that complicated, man. They're winning and winning a lot with the lineup that Brooks is rolling out. So I don't see the need to poke holes in it or try to change things up.
Cardell, do you have anything? Oh, go ahead. My bad.
Yeah, exactly what Raymond said, and saying that bigger perimeter players, they just shoot over Neto. Even when he does make a good closeout, newsflash, they shoot over everybody when they make a closeout. The Wizards aren't the best defensive team in the league. It is what it is. So they're in the NBA. You're going to get shot over. You know, you just do the best you can contesting. So, but when Neto does give up in size, I know they just don't put the ball on the ground, try to go around him like it's easy either. So he's taking something away, which is more than what I could say for a lot of players on the roster. And I'm not even going to jump on a specific one who has been fooled since he got here. You know what I mean? So, and he's 6'10". So that size don't mean nothing to do with it. They shooting over him, right? All right, let's go, Wilson.
That's nothing. All right, from Derek Bell, tough loss, but not hitting the panic button yet on this playoff run. I think they'll take care of business and secure either a 9 or 10 spot. They play well enough to win. A rebound or two, a free throw or two would have changed the outcome. Players are going at Bertans even with his 3-point shooting, Coach has to figure something out to battle his lack of defensive ability. A few times, Bertans looked absolutely lost playing defense. Russ and Brad played exceptional and saw, I guess, in saying that he saw a graph that they lead every single duo in the league in scoring, including the Nets. They just need their teammates to do their part. Call me naive, but Brooklyn, Philly, or Milwaukee are all teams we play very well and can make it interesting. Who would y'all prefer to play round one and why? I think this is you, right, Cardell? Yeah, it's your turn.
Yeah. Okay. As for Bertans, yeah, they've been going at him. They've been going at him probably since he's been in the league, but since he came here, yeah, they've been going at him. He's the weak link. The Raptors try to go at him. The Wizards just did a good job of fighting over the screens and not making that switch so easy. That's what won the game. But yeah, they're picking on him. Like that's what basketball is all about. It's about exploiting whatever your weakness is. Either individually or team wise. That's what smart basketball teams do. We're not gonna complicate this, like Raymond said. We're gonna go at your weakness. So we got a guy that's food. Whoever he's guarding, come screaming. And we gonna make it happen. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna go right at him, force him to play defense. Now it forces the rest of the defense to have to overplay to make up for him. You know what I mean? So he just has to step up and move those puppies, stay in front of guys, and get stops. It just come down. It sometimes just come down to pride, man. You know what I'm saying? You just have to get stopped, though. I mean, and I love how they try to sell this narrative a few years back. Look, guys are so much more skilled and evolved. Defense doesn't matter. Yeah, okay. It's a whole lot of coaches post game I've been listening to throughout the season complaining about defense. It's bad, man. And you know what I'm saying? The guys really have no concept of how to play defense. But the thing is, in the NBA, you don't have time to teach it. Especially this year, you only have time to practice to correct it. So it comes down to you just moving your feet and just staying in front of the man in the goal. Simple as that, man. You do that, you'll win your fair share of matchups, man. And as far as Russ and Brad, being probably the best duo in scoring and all that, that's cool. I don't think they that no more, but especially with KD back, playing consistently. But I mean, that's cool. It don't mean nothing if you don't win, though. You know what I mean? They're winning now, so it's getting a lot of pub. And as far as them, who would I prefer for them to play? Brooklyn, the Sixers, or Milwaukee? How about none of them? Since they're going to have to. Look, it's hell either way you go, man. I mean, look, pick one. What version of John Wick you want? You want the first one, the second one, or the third one? Either way you look at it, it's gonna be a headshot. So good luck to them. And I know they're playing them tough lately in the regular season. Playoffs are a different ball game. I'm trying to tell you, y'all going and it's a reason why certain players in the playoffs that are called superstars or teams you think got a shot, they don't look so good in the playoffs. When teams really lock in on you for a 7-game series, it ain't sweet no more. Like you talking about Bertans and stuff, not being able to defend now. Wait till the playoffs. What if they play Brooklyn? What if they play Brooklyn and Harden and Kyrie and KD just taking turns seeking him out? He ain't even gonna be able. How is he gonna stay on the floor? I know he better be, man. He better not miss a three. That's the only way. So I'm dead serious. He better be hitting them jumps like Steph from half court. Otherwise, they can't play him because they're gonna be searching them out. So it's tough for the Wizards either way, man. But I know they're not scared. I know Russ and Bill, they're not tripping off that. That's what being a competitor is all about. Bring on the best and let's see what happens.
Did you want to chime in, Ray, or just get ready for your next question?
Just one thing. Start off saying tough loss, but not hitting the panic button. You can't be okay with them losing winnable games. By having controllable mistakes. It's different if they did everything right and the other team just proved to be better that night. That's different, man. But they're losing games pretty much on their own hand, and they'll take care of business and secure either 9 or 10 spot. What position would they be in if they didn't drop these games that they shouldn't have lost. So I mean, it's just a couple ways to look at it here. That's all I really had to say about that.
All right, and to end it, Ray, this is for you from Easy Cut. Man said if we make the playoffs, we going home early. Word for real thought this was a championship team. Cool, sarcasm, everybody loves it. This team is doing the best they can with Scott Brooks as coach. Gafford sat on the bench for no reason, running horrible lineups out there for way too long. That's the common denominator.
I don't know. I don't know if he's referring to Cardell's comment or what, but I think the comment was the series will be quick. Not we going home early. Either way, both are true. But it's a difference, man. If they play to their full capability, they can at least make it give up some type of fight. But if they go in making these same mistakes against, one of the three teams that the other guy mentioned, whoever they end up playing, yeah, it's going to be a sweep. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what you want. I think it's another one of those selective hearing things. But then we back on this Scott Brooks thing. My biggest gripe with that is when they struggle or things not going so well, it's all Scott Brooks' fault and nobody mentions the players. When they doing well, it's all the players and they're winning in spite of Scott Brooks. That you can't have it both ways, man. You can't have it both ways. Either the players got something to do with it when they're not doing well, or Scott Brooks got something to do with it when they're doing well. It can't be just one way or the other, man. Like then we already touched on Gafford. He was making mistakes and he wasn't being impactful. Why would you leave him out on the floor? That's to me, that's not being a good coach. Running horrible lineups out there for way too long. Coaching the month of April, so obviously lineup not that horrible. I don't understand what the fascination is, man, with piling on Scott Brooks. What do people think this team's ceiling is? No matter who's on the sideline, this is not
for the record. I low key don't want to know the answer to that because the internet's wild. 2020 been crazy. 2021's even more crazy. I don't really want to honestly know the answer to that, but I'm gonna go be quiet now. My bad, Ray.
No, you good. I mean, like seriously, man. What what do you think Phil Jackson or Greg Popovich going to be able to get out this team? Like it's just not a good roster, man. We got to be real about that. They're average at best. Like we got to be honest, man. I know we've been saying in the preseason if they play to their maximum capabilities, they'll sneak into the playoffs. So I don't think it's too much should be expected from jump because I mean it's really not a whole lot to work with. They're not just super horrible. I think they're better than what their record says because as we pointed out, they've lost a lot of games on things that were completely within their control. But even still, man, it's not like they will be competing for a championship regardless of who's coaching them. So we gotta leave Scott Brooks alone. I think actually he needs some more credit and props for being able to navigate through all this madness, and now he's got them in a position where they can possibly be in the postseason. But I mean, it's just beating a dead drum at this point. People won't believe what they want to believe, and for him to make the comment of Gafford sat on the bench for no reason. Yeah, obviously it was a reason because when Gafford has produced, he was out there. And that's been Scott Brooks' MO the whole season. If you're producing and you're doing what I asked you to do and you're making winning plays and doing things to help the team, you're gonna be on the floor. So I mean, I don't think people want to be benched for no reason.
All right, there was a comment from somebody on IG. One, appreciate you tuning in. We truly appreciate it. Second, appreciate the comment. I'm gonna read it real quick. And it's from Two Loves Two. And if I said your name wrong, just type it and tell me the right way to say it. But obviously, players have the final outcome with the games, as basketball is a player's game. Unlike football, it's more of the coaching. But Scott Brooks do be throwing some wrenches in with some of the lineups. And so, I mean, that was his comment if y'all want to respond. Go ahead, Cardell. I'll respond after you.
Yeah, well, my response is this. Brooks led the Wizards to a 12-5 record during the month of April, which included an 8-game winning streak from April 12th to the 25th, marking the team's longest winning streak since December of 2001. Michael Jordan was in uniform then. The 12 wins were the most in the East during the month, the most in the Eastern Conference during the month. And then 6 road wins. They went 6-3 on the road, marked the second most in the conference. The 12 wins also were the most wins in a month by the Wizards since January 2017. Those are the facts. And I'm a dude that roll with the facts over opinions, because anybody with some emotion can have some dumbass opinion. But the facts, I just read you the facts. So, and he just won tonight. You know what I mean? So, like Raymond said, they have an average roster at best, yet he's, what we just say, 12-5 in the month of April? So what is the criticism? My issue is we got a whole bunch of guys that, man, I got to keep it 100. You got a whole bunch of guys that puff their chest out, start their own AAU team, and call them coaches, and think they are on the same caliber level as an NBA coach. And no, that's not how it works. You're dealing with grown men, dudes that are highly paid, dudes that been highly touted forever in the game of basketball for the most part. In a lot of ways, they got more power than the coaches. Because let's be real, if Brad Bill went to Tommy like, I want Brooks up out of here, he'd be up out of there because he's the franchise player. That's just how the game goes. It sucks sometimes because some coaches don't deserve that, but it is what it is. This man pulling out America, all the crap they done had to deal with, COVID, trading Wall, Russ having a slow start because of the injury, having to bounce back with that. Lord knows, injury after injury. Jesus, I mean, I'm not talking about just COVID that everybody has to do with getting tested twice a day or what. I'm not talking about that, not even being able to practice, no summer league, no training camp. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about COVID literally hit the team and they had to shut down for part of the season. Yet they come back from All-Star break and they surging to the point where we was like, dang, man, maybe we were wrong. We expected them to be in the playoffs. Hey, man, it might be time to start talking about the lottery. Next thing you know, they wake up, go on a hell of a winning streak, and now they everywhere, man. You turn on ESPN and stuff, first thing they talking about it on all this podcasts, everybody giving them praise. Whereas early in the season, they weren't mentioned at all. I think Scott Brooks has a little bit to do with that. See, that's the problem. Like Raymond said, don't nobody want to give people credit when the results show they deserve credit, but always want to give blame and be critical when it's not warranted. He's getting results, and at the end of the day, that's what sports is all about. Who's getting the best results? And right now, they're getting great results. So you have to roll with it. You have to just respect it, man. If you're a real one. Now, if you ain't a real one, you're gonna just roll with whatever you want to roll with, man. But yeah, I'm not trying to hear a bunch of opinions about Scott Brooks coaching just because guys started their own AAU team. They puffing their chests out and they fulfilling, some void left from their childhood because they couldn't cut it themselves. That's what I'm hearing a lot. You know what I mean? And it's just sad. Y'all grown men, dog. Respect what's happening. Respect the results, and just and leave it at that. It's not hard to do, man.
All right, he followed up with saying he's not disagreeing or saying he's a bad coach, but asking like, do we ever scratch our head when you see Bonga out there not doing nothing but a guy Matthews on the bench? I just found myself scratching my head sometimes with some of the lineups. I would just respond like, that's one of the parts where I think we've all mentioned it's not that great of a roster. One, two, you got a lot of guys who don't have even like someone like Bonga, for example, right? He's been in the NBA for a while, but he still doesn't have the experience he needs. His experience, his what's it called? His play doesn't reflect the experience that he's had in the time that he's spent in this league. Just because you've been in the league doesn't mean what I'm saying, all things aren't equal. Even with and Garrison Matthews, we've all given credit to at times. Sometimes Garrison Matthews, he has an impact. there's just so many times we've seen this season where he's had opportunities to take a bigger role, and he kind of fell flat at times. And one of the people we saw take advantage of that role was Neto. And I'm not saying you. I've seen a lot of people kind of, say whatever about him being on the floor. The bottom line is, a night like tonight, they're not in this game without him. Because while we're talking about somebody else who's here to shoot and spread the floor and everything else, and if this guy's only limitation thus far this season, just going off what he's done for the Wizards, because I don't care what he's done prior to the Wizards, but just sticking with this year, of all those guys at times, like, he's been one of the most reliable, especially as of late. Like, these past six to 10 games or whatnot, not getting too much love, but when they're getting trapped, they're getting doubled, you almost count on when they swing it out to him, if he doesn't hit the three, he's going to make the right basketball play. And that's the problem is right here on this roster. And I think, I'm not saying just you, but I think a lot of people let him go. And sometimes we do this thing where we look at the roster, look around other places, and kind of like just assume that everybody has the same level IQ and all this stuff that needs to go with it. They don't. Like, this roster, this roster's missing a lot from that standpoint, and just honest experience. And everyone's, like, from a player development standpoint, people are all over the place. The only two things that you know exactly who they are is pretty much their starting backcourt. And we know what Rolo is because he's a vet. We know exactly what he is or whatnot. But outside of that, even somebody like Alex Len, we don't know exactly what he is in this league. It's not like he's been starting for 4 or 5 years. That was a guy who couldn't really get on the floor in Toronto, gets here, and again, which speaks to this roster, gets here, and he's part of a 3-man center rotation, which, once TB went down, everything changed. Carter, I know you mentioned a lot of the injuries. TB going down at the beginning of the year changed so much. And then again, that Gafford trade, you want to talk about swinging for the fences and connecting. It was literally all the stuff they needed at a time, but this roster is still far from where it needs to be. So I think that's some of the things that I get it. Anybody watching the game, yeah, coaches do interesting things, but at the same time, they're there. There's a lot that they see that we don't see from where we're sitting. And sometimes, honestly, just in sports, when you're going through it, and like, there's a difference between good rosters and bad rosters, and why you never see, I don't care what the sport is, why you never see bad rosters win championships. There's a reason, you know what I'm saying? There's a reason.
And also, you gotta understand, it's a young roster. It's 8 players on the roster, 24 and younger. They babies, man. They think it. I know we in the era of one and done, but realistically, if you spend 4 years in college, most of their roster this is their second year in the league for real. Yeah. You know what I mean? So you got to understand what they're dealing with. So he's trying to speed up the learning curve. You know what I mean? And the only way you can do that is really honestly throwing them in the fire. Now, Bonga, one thing he can do is defend. Offensively, he may make some bad decisions. You know what I'm saying? He may be up or down with that, but one thing he can do is defend. So maybe they putting Bonga on the floor for that. So you saying he's putting Bonga in and he's not giving them anything. Well, you don't even know what he put him in for. You know what I mean? Normally, when Russ and Bill, when one of them out, the other one's on the floor. So they're not really counting on him to score. They're really looking for him to defend. And if you open in the corner, it's in the flow, shoot the ball and try to knock it down. That's all it is. They're not looking for him to be a hero and average 30. And I think that's what a lot of people look at the players when they be like, they ain't doing nothing and stuff like that. That's not their role to average 30. They've never been a 30. I don't think Bonga ever been a 30-point game scorer. So what are you expecting out of him? And that's the thing when you talk to a lot of fans, they expect every player in the league to be superstars. That's not realistic. It's only about 15 of those guys. It's only about 15. Everybody else role players. Now, it's different levels of role player. You know what I mean? Like, it's high quality role players, and then you got role players that's fringe. Hey man, they good practice players. You know what I'm saying? If they get their number called, then hopefully they'll produce. But nah, man. And then you also gotta understand when they were losing, Scott Brooks was searching. He was throwing different lineups out there just to see, who can I count on? Who's gonna compete? And it was a couple games where he benched Russ and Bill because they weren't playing well. And I think when he did that, he got everybody's attention. Like, he benching the franchise dudes. Oh, I better be on my ish from now on. And then when he started rewarding guys who got in the game and produced and was playing hard, I think that's when it would start waking people up. Like, we gotta bring it. So that's all that is, man. Look, man, he's getting results, man. You just gotta respect it and and applaud it, and see if they can keep it going.
Yeah, and my last little bit on this, and again, it speaks volumes. You got two dudes, kind of castaways from Chicago, that come in here and play integral roles. You got Gafford and Hutchinson's getting there little by little, but he pretty much walked in. It took Bonga's minutes off the trade, literally because
and it's
like,
with Denny getting hurt too.
Yep, and again, you got what's it called, back-to-back top 10 picks in Denny and Rui that you had, which again lets you know where your roster stands if you have back-to-back top 10 picks. You know what I'm saying? So, okay, my bad. He's responding. Okay. He said, I guess that's my issue because going into the season, Bonga was hyped to be a good defender, but I've watched all the games this season. I don't see him lock up people. But as y'all said, it could have been attributed to him being young. Good stuff, fellas. So again, two loves too. We appreciate the conversation, man. Truly do.
But he got stops. That's the thing. He has gotten stops throughout the year. That's what kept him getting. It damn sure wasn't him scoring. So he kept getting chances because of his defense. He was getting stops. He was drawing timely chart. Like, that's my thing. So what do you call locking up? Like, just one-on-one defense, you don't score. Like, good defense is more than that. Good defense is way more than that, man. So, he made an impact on that end, man. The problem is on the offensive end, you just don't know what you're gonna get. I'm just calling it like it is. You just don't know, because I don't know. I don't know, man.
It's a night by night basis. Whatever he shows us,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just to be honest, like it, you know what I'm saying, the truth is the truth, and that's what it is. And that's what it is for a lot of folks on this roster. And like especially from the defensive standpoint, it speaks volumes like that he even has to play for that, because they don't, like, from a defense standpoint, again, I think they went from like 20-something to like middle of the pack just because of the trade of Gafford. Just having a deterrent back there. It's not like they all of a sudden became a lockdown defense or something. It's just having a deterrent back there because they're not that great of a defensive team. It's not like we look up and down his roster and we're like, oh man, that's a great team defender. He got a really high IQ. He's outstanding rebounder. Like you guys said, you said it earlier, just you gotta judge this roster for what it is. The results are the results. Keep that in mind. And look, man, it is what it is.
And let's not forget, they just traded away a lottery pick that they had from 3 years ago to the Bulls.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, it's tough, man. The league real, man. Paul Pierce said the best. The league is real, man. So we give you the reality of the roster, yet Scott Brooks is still winning games with this roster. I think the man can coach a little bit, man. So it's past time people in the area give him credit, man. Because since he's been here, he done had tons of adversity, man. He hasn't had a strong roster at all. His best roster was the one that went to the playoffs, but where Wall was playing on one leg. You know what I mean? When they lost to the Raptors. Come on, man. It is what it is,
Yeah, and again, like looking around the league, it's they don't have some of the things that every good team has in the league on their roster right now. You just lucked into one, you know what I'm saying, this year, and he's a baby. Again, like this roster has, and I know, for all y'all in the comments that are talking about what needs to change, this roster is probably a year or two away from developing to get where y'all would probably like it. And the tough part is that timeline. I don't know what that looks like, how that timeline fits for Brad and for Russ. But as for the rest of the roster, like there's a lot of constructing that needs to continue to get the others caught up, or even just to close the gap between the others and that backcourt. It's a wide gap right now. So if y'all have nothing else, I want to thank y'all for watching, man. Y'all have a great evening. We won't see you Friday. We'll see you Saturday when the Wizards take on the Pacers for another, what feels like every game in the month of May, another must-win game if they wish to get where they want to go. So y'all have a great one.